Foremost, I'll give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash, double honors to the apostle, elders, great millstone, and salute on the brothers out there preaching this word, sharing the truth. All right, I got this article real quick um, from Yahoo News via Associated Press. It's entitled Harris to tell United Nations body it's time to prep for next pandemic. All right, this is already in the books. It will be another pandemic. All right, even worse than the one we went through last year, which is still around. All right. Washington, AP, Associated Press, Vice President Kamala Harris will make the case before United Nations members on Monday that now is the time for global leaders to begin putting the serious work into how they will respond to the next global pandemic. The virtual address Harris' second to a UN body since her inauguration will come as the United States makes progress on vaccinating the public and much of the world struggles to acquire vaccines. At, at the same time that the world works to get through this pandemic, we also know that we must prepare for the next. Harris will say, according to excerpts of the speech obtained by the Associated Press, the speech will be co-hosted by UN permanent representatives Argentina, Japan, Norway, and South Africa. All right. It's the same warning that Bill Gates put out in his TED Talks. If you go on YouTube and type in Bill Gates TED Talks, Bill Gates, I believe it was 2015, if I'm not mistaken, and he warned that um, a worldwide pandemic will be coming. And this is 2015. All right. And look what we have, COVID-19. All right. And popped up in 2020. So these are definitely plagues and pestilences. All right. That the Most High talked about in the scriptures. Let's see. The Biden administration will mark its first 100 days in office this week. President Joe Biden is scheduled to address Congress on Wednesday and is certain to highlight the headway his administration has made in responding to the worst public health crisis in the U.S. in more than a century. Harris, according to the excerpts, will broadly outline how the administration thinks the U.S. and other nations should consider focusing their attention. The steps include improving accessibility to health system, investing in science, health workers and well-being of women, surgeon capacity of personal protective equipment, and vaccine and test manufacturing. And I should have forgot security, where security is going to be beefed up as well to administer these new vaccines for this new pandemic. Like I said, that's about to happen. We have reminded that the status quo is not nearly good enough and that innovation is indeed the path forward here, said Biden's ambassador to the UN, Linda Thompson Greenfield, is also scheduled to deliver remarks at Monday's virtual event intends to call on nations to build the pandemic preparedness agriculture for the future. To take away from this past year is clear the world barely withstood this pandemic. Thomas Greenfield says in excerpts of her prepared remarks, we must be ready for the next one. So they're out here. The elites are, doing their what you call it, their predictive programming. Let's go to the scriptures. First scripture I got is Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 37. But behold, the plagues draw nigh. The crown royal virus is a plague. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slacked, as when woman with child in the ninth month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb. Now it's talking about contractions. Okay, so um, the more contractions leading up to the birth of the child, the worse and worse those contractions get in pain. All right, for the woman holding that child. All right, when that child's about to be born. Okay, um, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. All right, and it tells you in verse 39, even so not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. All right, so this next pandemic, what? That's another plague. All right, it is another plague. All my people hear my word and make you ready to the battle. And then those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. It might come down. You gotta abandon your home. All right. After you abandon your home and go somewhere else. It's like I was shy to say Matthew, Matthew 24. Um, if I'm not mistaken, when Jerusalem is compassed by armies, make sure you flee into the mountains. The Lord said, don't go back into your homes and carry nothing. Just leave. Now, and the Lord was prophesying. The Lord was prophesying, and that prophecy happened. Was it 70? Was it 68 A.D. And the Lord was crucified. Was it 33 A.D.? So at 30 some odd years later. All right. Not saying this next pandemic is going to go 30 years. No, I'm just saying, um, you know, there's prophecy. Okay. And you link it up with this article because at least they like to put these their self-fulfilling prophecies and movies, TV shows, comic books, uh, different uh, uh, via their politicians to say what's about to happen next. I said earlier, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, all them lower luminaries. The top elites like to push their predictive programming through their media, through their politicians, and through their lower luminaries. All right, that's in uh, that's in cahoots with them to basically push forth the new world order. All right, because what Elon Musk is doing, the chip, the Neuralink, the chip in the forehead, the mark of the beast in the forehead. Bill Gates is what he's he's basically on the pharmaceutical side and on the biological weapon side. You know, so these elites like to use these different people to push their new world order, their new world order prophecies and stuff like that. You know, and the Lord Yahweh is working through Esau Edom to be his sword. Okay, and what's a pandemic? That's a sword, man. The Esau can engineer these viruses and these diseases, inside a lab and put them out to the public. All right, Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. See that? So Esau Edom is the sword of the Heavenly Father on the left hand side. Okay. So there you